Good morning. Today is Monday, October 19th, 2020, and this is your Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News. Here at Gaming Morning Show, we like to stay up to date. That's why our first news story, I'm here to tell you that Microsoft is launching two new consoles, the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. And in other news, Microsoft also purchased Bethesda.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun, 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 dun,
you,
dun, dun, dun.
you knew that already.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Well, fine. Stephen Totillo Kotaku sat down virtually, of course, with Xbox Master Chief himself, Phil Spencer. In the interview, Spencer discussed the personal experiences he's had having both the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series S uh, at home. He keeps his Series S hooked up to a monitor in his office and the Series X in his living room attached to a TV. When he was asked to compare their performances, Phil stated, after acknowledging his obvious bias, that the Series S has surprised him in terms of how it performs. The Series S can run at 60 frames per second in 1800p, which was not a typo, while the Series X runs at 60 FPS in 4K. He goes on to say that surprisingly, the Series S has loaded faster mini games because it's loading a lower res graphic. Regarding the Bethesda deal, the big question everyone has been asking is where will we be able to play future Bethesda games? When asked about it, Phil Spencer said, I don't, quote, I don't want to be flip about it. This deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people. He continued on to say that future games will be determined on a case by case basis, but they have more of an advantage at Microsoft to release them on multiple platforms because they can sell for full price on PlayStation, but offer a large discount through Game Pass on Xbox platforms. So definitely go check out that full write up of the interview. There's more we didn't touch on those topics, but they also went on to talk about things like Halo Infinite, ballooning file sizes, and cross gen confusion, to name a few topics.
I don't know how they managed to pull that off with the Series S loading games faster than the Series X. I have a computer that was built with way less specs, and it loads the less specky requiring games faster. So that's crazy that's how that math worked. It just seems like a silly thing to say. It's like, yeah, it loaded really good, but it's loading lower resolution, right?
Yeah.
But did you
Yeah.
say 1800p?
1800p, isn't that weird?
That's so many p's.
And such a weird, like,
Number?
we went 1080, 4K, 8K. Like, they're like, nah, we do what we want. 1800. Just wait till our update. We're upping it to 1850 for no reason. We got all the P's.
So many p's.
Speaking of P, um, girls go P,
That's true.
and
Fact.
girls also like to be represented in storytelling. James Batchelor, not a girl, of gamesindustry.biz. That was a good segue.
That was one of your
Um,
worst segues of all time, but I'm gonna go with it. Continue. Yes.
James Batchelor, who is not a girl of GameIndustry.biz, discussed a recent report by Anita Sarkeesian and Caroline Pettit, both actual girls, looking at the balance of female and male representation in recently announced games.
You're not supposed to be looking at me. No one can see me. I'm not here.
but I
I'm
but
not
I
here.
can.
So on the other side of the curtain, no, on the other side of the curtain, I'm trying to kill this stupid fly, and all he sees is me taking my hat off and flipping it around, trying to kill this stupid fly. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I should have muted my camera to you.
Oh, anyways, Anita Sarkeesian and Caroline Pettit worked on a recent report that looked at the balance of females and male representation in recently announced games. They've been analyzing games announced during E3 since 2014. This year, in the absence of E3, they looked at various summer presentations which replaced the trade show. Their study found that 18% of new games featured a defined female character as the lead, and this is a significant improvement over the 5% from last year. Interestingly, one third of these games came from Sony's presentation in June. The rest of the breakdown looked like this: 23% of games featured a defined male character, 54 allowed players to choose between male and female. And to note, they stated that these games are an improvement in many ways, but it does not replace telling a story with a defined female perspective and story to relate to. 2% of games are non applicable, and 5% have some sense of gender ambiguity or non binary leads. In summary, Anita and Caroline summarized, quote, "This is a wild card year. There's no question about that. And the future feels quite unknown. Will E3 return in 2021? Will the releases of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and Series X bring with them a new level of focus on female characters as companies increasingly realize that women play and love games too? Is this year's statistical shift just a blip or a sign of lasting change? We hope for the best, but we are not ready to celebrate just yet." Good stuff.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna read that one actually. So a lot of times with the gaming morning show, morning gaming news, Sean reports it. I handle tweeting it out, but I don't actually open it up even after the fact, because that's why he's the hashtag video game expert and I'm not. But I'm really interested to read that one. So
Yeah, it's a good one. And in the article we link, they also link the original article by Anita and Caroline. So check those out. And always last but never least, we finish off today's gaming morning show, morning gaming news, with the world-renowned segment within a segment, where it's been a while since I've scripted out a long, drawn-out segment opening. Well, here it is. Did you miss this? Is this why you show up every morning? Is this the key to our success? Should we create a GoFundMe to buy a teleprompter just for this segment? I can't answer those questions. No one can. But I can answer this question. What is out today? Are you ready?
indeed.
Endless Memories out on PC, Death Ray Manta SE out on Switch.
That's it?
And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's name of the morning goes to a game which is just kind of fine. It's kind. Out on PC.
It's just kind.
Kine out on PC. Congratulations, Kine, on winning Name of the Morning. Your trophy's in the mail.
It's so fun.